fans, welcome back for the second half of tonight's Snarl in Glendale, Arizona. The usual suspects, Wally, GB, and Tex here, and there's 3 big matches ahead in the second hour tonight, and I'm not overusing the word big on these.
Trust us, he's not kidding. No cap, as the kids say today. Although, Tex, I have to admit, a couple of these, well, new developments have surprised me. I'm not complaining at all, only really stunned by some of what's going down in the second hour.
Well, that was part of the plan, Johnny. We want the fans to be excited, do we not? We want to deliver a quality show, do we not? Well, Old Tex is delivering the goods.
Startling developments for sure, and let's get at it right away with this wild second half opener. The Sectarians' top stars, Papa Shango and the Boogeyman, return tonight. And get this, they'll be facing the never-before-seen pairing of John Bradshaw Layfield and the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase.
Welcome back, fans. Our second half opening contest is set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, representing the Sectarians at a combined weight of 540 pounds, the team of the Boogeyman and Papa Shango.
These two back again, but it seems Tex here has decided to, well, lash out at the Sectarians. And clearly, the meetings last week with JBL and Ted DiBiase, these guys and the sect as a whole, are what it was all about. I was under the impression you guys were planning on using your financial muscle to deal with the Sectarians, but apparently there's actual physical action being taken. I don't see how you did it, Tex.
That is what I wanted everyone to think, Wally. That was the whole idea. Everybody figured, oh, these 3 rich guys getting together, they're going to pool some money and try and do something about it. Well, it took a little bit of doing to convince JBL and Ted DiBiase to work as a unit, but I managed to get them to see their way clear.
I'm 100% on board with this. I'm sure you would be standing ringside with them if you didn't have to be in here calling the matches.
Yes, I would, but take heart, Mr. Bianco. You will see the 3 of us together quite soon.
Really? And how's that gonna work?
I'll explain it all in a minute. Don't ruin the moment, Johnny.
Their opponents at a combined weight of 538 pounds, the team of John Bradshaw, Mayfield, and the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase Money Incorporated. Me too.
Oh, Sooty, the whole arena just went to deafening levels of noise. I don't believe it, JBL and the $1 Million Man working as a team and backed up by you, Tex. That's as crazy as it gets, and when should we expect to see the 3 of you all together? Exactly?
At the next Supercard, Monday night, July the 28th, you will see yours truly, Hangman Tex Lynch, a bona fide Memphis millionaire, joined by the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase and John Bradshaw Layfield in a 6-man tag against the Sectarians, the Boogeyman, Papa Shango, and Cav Manson.
Why, Tex, I do believe you just made my summer complete. There's a match I'm gonna be looking forward to, and hopefully it's a match the Sectarians are gonna regret having signed. Looks like Santa Claus got my letter a little early.
He sure did. This one's just a warning shot, GB. Well, they did real good in practice. Let's see how they do for real as Willie Johnson rings the bell. Papa Shango with a right and a left and a double choke lift and slams JBL to the mat. Shango misses with the elbow. JBL back up on his feet, catches a shot from Papa Shango, pitched halfway across the ring. Papa Shango making his way to the top turnbuckle here, but the $1 Million Man trying to put a stop to things here, but no use. There's an elbow across the chest of JBL. Here's a cover with a hook of the leg. 1, 2. But DiBiase right there to break it up for JBL. The Boogeyman gets a hold of the $1 Million Man, whips him out to the outside. JBL moves in, big running bulldog on Papa Shango. Shango with a jumping neckbreaker. Takes himself out of the equation. Here comes the Boogeyman on the tag. JBL with a running clothesline takes the Boogeyman down to the canvas, locks him up. Has him up. Nails him with a sidewalk slam. John Bradshaw Layfield countered by the Boogeyman with a kick to the midsection. They lock it up. Boogeyman with a spine buster center ring on JBL. Goes for the cover and hooks the leg again. One, but only one. John Bradshaw Layfield rolls on out to the outside. Boogeyman rolls back inside the ring, doing his weirdness. JBL takes himself back in. Boogeyman misses with a clothesline, goes behind on JBL. JBL counters with an elbow. Ted DiBiase with a cheap shot and a clothesline to the back of the head from JBL. As the Boogeyman finds himself on the wrong side of town, the Money Incorporated version 2. Going to work on the Boogeyman. Hard right hands to the head from JBL. JBL rounds him up, goes behind him. Here's a sleeper hold. Boogeyman separated from the ropes, but counters with a jaw jacker that backs JBL off. The Boogeyman locks him up, knee to the midsection. JBL has him up, a backbreaker. And here comes the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, on the tag. Boogeyman trying to find his way out of town, succeeds in doing so. There comes Papa Shango. Misses with his move. Ted DiBiase nails him with a kick. And here we go again, another frequent tag. As JBL comes back in, locks up Papa Shango, has him up over the shoulders. Escorts him to his own team's corner. Willie Johnson again needs to get out of the way. Look at this. Military press drop from JBL. I guess Willie Johnson couldn't get out in the way fast enough. Oh, here we go. JBL with that fall-away slam that he does so well. And he steps out. Here comes Ted DiBiase again as Papa Shango gets himself up in the far corner. Here comes the $1 Million Man. Goes behind. Hard shot to the back. Back into the far corner goes Papa Shango, the $1 Million Man. All right, oh, here we go. A series of headbutts right into the top turnbuckle from Ted DiBiase. And down goes Papa Shango. Ted DiBiase steps out. Here comes JBL again. The team working pretty efficiently. Papa Shango misses with the jumping neck breaker, gets rounded up by John Bradshaw Layfield, gets locked up. JBL's got him up in that front cradle again for that fall-away slam, but Papa Shango counters with elbows to the side of the head, follows it up with a right, locks up JBL. JBL with a kick right to the face of Papa Shango. Here's a cover. One. Only just a one. Papa Shango getting that left shoulder up. There's a stomp to the midsection from John Bradshaw Layfield. He winds it up, elbow right across the back of the head. Papa Shango rolls out looking for a break. He ain't going to get one because here comes JBL right after him. Papa Shango dodges a right. Rounds up JBL over the shoulders. And it looks like he's headed toward the barricade. Oh, there it goes. Right across the back for JBL. Papa Shango rolls him back inside the ring again. Now doing a little bit of showboating as if anybody cared. JBL going right after the Boogeyman, drapes him over the top rope, nails him with a clubbing right before the Boogeyman gets a hold of him and pitches him to the canvas. JBL rolls up for a hot second. Shango goes after the $1 Million Man, leaves him on the outside. JBL moves in. Shango misses with the clothesline. JBL goes behind, has him all the way up. Big time atomic drop from John Bradshaw Layfield. Papa Shango whipped to the ropes. JBL with an elbow right to the head of Papa Shango. Papa Shango counters with a jaw jacker, backs off JBL. JBL counters with a knee to the midsection real quick. A spinning neckbreaker to Papa Shango. JBL gathers him up, a chop across the chest. Papa Shango up against the ropes. JBL turns him around and starts choking him with the top rope. And there's a yank. Leaves Papa Shango laid out center ring. He goes to the Boogeyman for the tag. JBL catches a shoulder tackle that didn't do a damn thing. Boogeyman's got him up over the shoulders, though. Slams him down hard center ring. The Boogeyman misses with the stomp. JBL back up on his feet and a clothesline. Takes him down in the corner. There's a stomp to the midsection from JBL as he helps him out of the corner the hard way with an air-assisted alley-oop. And now JBL takes it upon himself to leave, and here comes the $1 Million Man again. The Boogeyman looking like he's in some kind of trouble here as Ted DiBiase makes his way to the top turnbuckle. And here he goes, big time crossbody across the chest of the boogeyman. The $1 Million Man. Back up on his feet again, the boogeyman trying to get to a standing position, catches a right. Ted DiBiase locks him up. Has him up, big time scoop slam. DiBiase rebounds off the ropes, big elbow drop right across the chest of the boogeyman. Here comes John Bradshaw Layfield again on the tag. JBL catches a clothesline from the boogeyman, gets taken down. JBL quickly back up on his feet, delivers a knee to the midsection of the boogeyman, and we've seen this before. JBL about to nail the boogeyman with a powerbomb, and there it is. He hooks the leg, 1, 2, 3, and Papa Shango's too late to save it. Money Incorporated V2 wins by pinfall.
The time, 6 minutes and 35 seconds. Your winners by pinfall, JBL and Ted DiBiase, Money Incorporated V2.
Vermagerd, that was fantastic. Money Incorporated V2 making their debut and taking down Papa Shango and Boogeyman in pretty quick time. It's maybe more excitement than I can handle. And that's coming from a mandating Sylvia Strong. Tex, you are the man.
Well, thank you, Johnny. More Snarl right after the break. Don't you go anywhere.
Still smiling and over the moon about the last match. But up next, another interesting confrontation as the polarizing star Ricochet makes a special appearance tonight, accepting an open challenge from the legendary Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
This next contest is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first from Paducah, Kentucky, weighing 188 pounds, here is Ricochet.
All right, well, the background on this one, all generated from Ricky Steamboat, who's been following the career of Ricochet, but has also seen a touch of arrogance in the young superstar and has issued this open challenge to the current AEW wrestling star, inviting him to come on back to RWL for a minute so the Dragon can show him how it's done.
Ricochet's not unfamiliar to our WL or our fans, as he's locked horns with some of the top guys in our cruiserweight division, having clashed with Tony Dangerous, Scotty Priest, El Gigante, and cruiserweight champ Gary Galaxy. This, however, will be Ricochet's first collision with Rick Steamboat, and you really have to wonder which of them's going home with the win here. Listing it as too close to call, but I'm partial to Steamboat, who's got the edge in experience by a country mile.
Well, I would have to go with that one myself, Wally, but Ricochet might surprise us. He is extremely fast.
His opponent from Honolulu, Hawaii, weighing 226 pounds, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, been a champion everywhere he's ever competed. Well loved by the fans. This Honolulu, Hawaii native, a Hall of Famer, extremely popular with fans, especially old school fans, who believe that he's definitely got the edge, as you say, Wally, over Ricochet, experience-wise, and that's for sure. But, again, Ricochet extremely fast, so what we have got here is a beautiful match concocted by booking agent Myron Gentleman.
The fans in the Glendale Sports Complex giving Ricky Steamboat a very warm welcome as he gets set to engage in what should be a pretty amazing generational battle.
And if there's one thing I do love, it is a generational battle. Tom Kanamura sounds the bell. They come center ring. Kick to the midsection from Ricochet. Goes behind on Ricky Steamboat. Steamboat taken down to the canvas by Ricochet. Won't let go of that rear waistlock. Steamboat trying to work it loose. Gets himself back up. Goes behind on Ricochet. Surprise, surprise. Oh, look at this. Snap mirror. And into a rear chin lock. Ricochet drives a knee into the back of Ricky Steamboat. Steamboat counters quick. Fireman's carry equally quick from Ricochet. Ricochet squirting Ricky Steamboat towards the ropes, gets him on the top rope, hangs him up off the top rope, down he goes center ring. Ricochet misses with the kick. Rick Steamboat goes behind. Ricochet goes behind equally quickly, shot to the back of the head, a quick jab from Rick Steamboat. Ricochet whipped to the ropes. Nice arm drag. And a stomp to the back from Rick Steamboat. The Dragon takes a step over. Beautiful Japanese arm drag from Ricky Steamboat. Ricochet counters with a right. Winds up. Oh, look at this. Quick drop toe hold from Rick Steamboat. And a nice fireman's carry, too. Followed up with a stomp to the midsection. Ricochet. As the arm wound up, Steamboat snaps it. Misses with the stomp. Drops an elbow into the top of Ricochet's head. Beautiful crucifix from the Dragon. Ricochet catches a shoulder claw from Rick Steamboat. Referee Tom Canamora watching things. Ricochet slammed to the canvas. Rick Steamboat going for a quick cover one. And man, just barely a one. Ricochet powering out real quick. Kick to the back of the head from Ricky Steamboat. Takes himself all the way topside. Ricochet, whoa, did you see that kip up? Steamboat misses with the crossbody. Ricochet just a step too fast. Out onto the apron goes Rick Steamboat. Ricochet talking trash to him. He comes back in. Hard right to the back. Steamboat drives a knee into the back of Ricochet. Rounds him back up again. Escorting Ricochet to the ropes. Gonna pay him back for that top rope hangman. Ricky Steamboat with a kick to the back of Ricochet. Steamboat makes his way to the top turnbuckle in the far corner yet again. Ricochet catches an elbow drop to the chest. Rick Steamboat rounds him up with a sweep of the leg from Ricochet, followed up with a stomp to the midsection. Another arm drag from Rick Steamboat. Ricochet winds him up and, oh, nice suplex. Look at this right here. Well, now, a suplex into a spinning neck breaker. Ricochet marking the territory here. Shut up. Ricochet nails him with that suplex again, winds him up one more time, gets him into the Dragon Sleeper, and Ricky Steamboat says, no, I did that once, I'm not going to do it again. Chop to the throat to Ricochet. Whipped out over the top rope, out onto the floor. Referee Tom Canamora about to initiate the count here. Here we go. Steamboat with another fireman's carry on Ricochet. Gathers him back up. Another crucifix from Steamboat. Ricochet rounded up again. Quick counter from Ricochet and a hard right. And whoa, a Meteora driving both knees into the chest of Rick Steamboat. Ricochet gathers up Steamboat. Steamboat counters with a hard forearm, a second one. Ricochet counters with an elbow. They lock up, they tussle. Steamboat shoves him back. Both men make it back inside the ring. Rick Steamboat whips Ricochet to the ropes. A beautiful arm drag. The Dragon rounds Ricochet up again. Has him up. Look at this. That's taking all the power he's got. Nice running power slam. Wasn't even a running power slam, kind of a jogging power slam. Steamboat rounded up by Ricochet, hard whip to the ropes. An elbow. Steamboat counters with a jab, stuns Ricochet, goes behind, has him up, nice suplex from Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And yeah, this match has been pretty wild so far. Real fast paced. Steamboat gathers up Ricochet, goes behind, here's a sweeper hold. No ropes for Ricochet to get to. Tom Canamora checking things out. Here's a jaw jacker that disengages the hold. Ricochet back up on his feet. Gets a hold of Rick Steamboat. Hard Irish whip to the ropes. And whoa, what a kick from Ricochet, who quickly takes himself up to the top turnbuckle here. Rick Steamboat slowly making his way to a standing position. And here we go. Look at this. Steamboat caught him and just dropped him face first to the mat. Out to the floor goes Ricochet. And out to the floor goes Rick Steamboat too. Goes behind on Ricochet, has him up, slams him right back down again. And again, Tom Canamora with the counting gauge. Rick Steamboat rounds him up. Ricochet goes behind on the back door, shoves Steamboat away. A chop across the chest. Steamboat counters with a kick to the midsection. A kick to the knee. Ricochet slowly makes his way to a standing position, counters with an arm drag. Steamboat delivers that kick to the midsection again. Ricochet quickly takes him down. Rounds him back up again. Counters with another kick to the midsection in retaliation. Ricochet holding his stomach. Look at that beautiful moonsault. I think Steamboat might have hit him with them couple of kicks and it hurt. Another kick to the midsection from Steamboat. Quickly slides his way back inside the ring. And now just having a little bit of fun at the expense of Ricochet. I think he's a little bit frustrated. Gets a hold of Steamboat, lifts him to the far corner. Nails him with a crossbody. Steamboat catches a forearm from Ricochet. And a Hurricane Rana too. Steamboat rolls out to the floor. Ricochet takes himself all the way up to the top turnbuckle again. And here we go. Beautiful elbow dive. Just catches Rick Steamboat just in time. Ricochet gathers him up again. Rick Steamboat rolled back inside the ring. Here comes Ricochet. A jab puts Steamboat in the far corner. Steamboat puts Ricochet in the corner. Ricochet puts Steamboat in the corner. Turns him around. Has him up on the middle rope. What are we going to see here? Oh, man. Kick right. Well, that did not look too nice. I'm not allowed to use those words on YouTube. All right. Ricochet rounds up Rick Steamboat. Inverted Russian leg sweep slams Rick Steamboat face first into the canvas. Ricochet going for a cover. 1, 2, but no. Rick Steamboat powering out. Ricochet can't believe it. No. Ricochet has to go back to work. Rounds up Rick Steamboat again. Catches an arm drag instead. The Dragon countered by Ricochet with a hard right. A snap mirror from Ricochet. Followed up with a flip over neck whip. And I'll tell you what, Ricochet is fast. All the way up to the top turnbuckle again. Rick Steamboat slowly making his way to a standing position, and here he comes. Crossbody takes him down. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2, but another near fall as Rick Steamboat gets that left shoulder up big time, so the referee made sure he seen it. Ricochet with a hard whip out onto the floor goes Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Ricochet looking like he's building up a head of steam here. Again up on the top turnbuckle. This kid loves to fly. And here we go. Flying kick. And both men are out. Ricochet might have hurt himself pulling that trick. Gets himself back up to a standing position first. Gathers up Rick Steamboat. Steamboat countering again with another kick to the gut. Ricochet retaliates with a kick to the gut. Steamboat hits him again. Ricochet counters with a right. Ricky Steamboat rolls out. Gets caught by Ricochet. And look at this here. Oh, man. Nasty suplex from Ricochet as the referee continues to count. Kick to the midsection. A hard forearm. Another shot. And another side suplex from Ricochet. Rick Steamboat starting to lose a little steam in that boat as Ricochet rolls him back inside the ring. And Ricochet might be able to wrap this one up. Here's a kick from Rick Steamboat back up on his feet. A snap mirror to Ricochet and a flip over neck whip. These guys matching each other move for move here, seriously. All right, Steamboat up on the top turnbuckle and waiting for Ricochet to stand himself on up. And here we go, crossbody and a hook of the leg center ring, just like Ricochet. 1, 2. Oh, man. Steamboat letting Tom Canamora hear it. He thought it was a 3. And he's rallying the troops here in Glendale. Ricochet gathered up to his feet. Catches a jaw jacket from Ricochet. Ricochet quickly out of the way. Misses with the drop kick. A chop across the chest. A chop across the skull. A rebound off the ropes. And whoa! Another chop right to the head from Rick Steamboat. Follows it up with a fist drop that misses the mark. Ricochet quickly out of the way of that one. Kick to the midsection from Ricky Steamboat. Gets a hold of Ricochet. Ricochet slips out the back door again. Tags him with a hard shot to the back. Jumping neck breaker to Rick Steamboat. And down he goes. Ricochet gathers him up again. Steamboat counters it. Blocks it. Back into another sleeper hold here. Tom Canamora quickly checking things out over here. And that is it. He has rung the bell. Ricochet is gone. Rick Steamboat winning this matchup over Ricochet by submission.
The time, 10 minutes and 58 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Now Now that was an awesome display from both men. Ricochet, as usual, not afraid to take risks or put his body on the line to achieve his goals, going so far as to hurt himself on one high-risk move to the outside. But that experience factor we mentioned before the match has carried Ricky Steamboat to a tap-out win over a very tough opponent in Ricochet. Steamboat did come pretty close to losing this one, but again, experience is the best teacher.
Steamboat definitely took a heap of punishment at the hands of Ricochet, but Steamboat seems to have worn him down pretty good with those repeated kicks to Ricochet's midsection. But still, big-time tip of the hat to both participants who wrestled a very exciting and fast-paced matchup.
The generational battle settled. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat showing that yes, experience is the best teacher. Folks, when we come back, a ladies tag team main event with American Powers you're not going to want to miss. We'll be right back after the break. Alright y'all, it is main event time, and tonight it's going to be a rematch from the Burning Dollhouse Supercard with AJ Lee and Shotzi Blackheart once again joining forces in a non-title matchup with American Powers, Patty Powers, and Liberty Belle Danielle.
Tonight's Snarl main event is a non-title tag team match set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first the team of AJ Lee and Shotzi Blackheart.
American Powers, still Women's World Tag Champs, having beaten AJ and Shotzi at the recent Burning Dollhouse card. But both teams have still been sniping at each other back and forth, trading barbs and insults. And apparently AJ and Shotzi have picked up on Danielle Heathcote's comments regarding them recently.
American Powers wouldn't be where they are today if they weren't worth something. But there is just one big problem, and that would be Liberty Belle Big Mouth. You make lots of noise online, but you don't win matches with your mouth, and being a disrespectful little cow. Let's not pretend it isn't true, because the front office don't pull people in for nothing. Seems the only time Danielle Heathcote is quiet is when she's on the injured list. And since I'm desperately seeking silence, looks like me, and the distraction, Shotzi Blackheart are gonna have to make it quiet. Now, if Patty Powers wants to get in the way of that too, then she can join her partner on the bench for a few weeks. So, the only thing getting lit up tonight is American Powers.
Well, sir, if thumbs ain't fighting words, I don't know what constitutes fighting words.
Their opponents, accompanied by manager MJ Frontino. They are RWL Ladies Triple Crown Champions and the reigning RWL Women's World Tag Team Champions, Powerhouse Patty Powers and All-American Liberty Belle, Danielle Heathcote, American Powers. Oh, well, there goes any hope of Sylvia Strong being in a good mood tonight. Looks like, for whatever reason, Patty and Danielle have chosen Ferrantino as their manager. Damn, I was really hoping they would have chosen the Stronghold, but I guess they preferred Ferrantino's deal. Wonder what made them choose MJF.
Well, seems like American Powers always manages to draw some unfortunate enemies. AJ Lee and Patty Powers starting this one off. Man, MJ Ferrantino. Now managing American Powers, Tom Canamora rings the bell. Look at this, AJ Lee goes behind on Tom Canamora, slams his head into the turnbuckle. Patty Powers going to take advantage of that mistake. She should have been disqualified for that. AJ puts on the brakes. Patty Powers locks her up. AJ counters with elbows to the midsection. Backs Patty Powers off. Come on, Tom, get out of that corner. All right, here we go. AJ Lee with a backbreaker on Patty. And a little bit of arrogance, too. There's a kick to the chest. AJ misses with a stomp. Patty Powers locks her up. Has her up over the shoulder. Where's she going to go with it? Slams her down hard. A kick to the head from AJ Lee. Patty Powers locked up, whipped over the ropes out onto the apron. A right from Patty and a kick from AJ Lee that sends Patty out onto the floor. Matthew James Ferrantino with his new tag team. I do not believe. Wow. I swore Sylvia Strong was going to get them. Shotzi Blackheart comes in on the tag. Slams Patty Powers into the corner. Patty counters with an elbow. Patty Powers delivers a couple of rib breakers and tosses Shotzi Blackheart aside, kicks her in the back of the head. They lock up. Kick to the midsection from Shotzi and a facebuster. Oh, man. Patty wound up as Shotzi gets ready to throw the switch, snaps both arms. Shotzi Blackheart makes her way to the top turnbuckle. Patty Powers laid out near center. Big time cross body from Shotzi Blackheart. Shotzi rounds up Patty Powers, locks her up, escorts her to her team's corner. Head first into the turnbuckle goes Patty. There's a chop across the chest from Shotzi Blackheart. Shotzi yanking the arm of Patty Powers against the ropes. Shotzi moves in again. Look at this off the top rope. Beautiful Hurricane Rana from Shotzi Blackheart. Patty Powers caught center ring and has not gotten off the mat just yet as Shotzi Blackheart delivers a parting shot and tags in AJ Lee. Patty makes her way to the corner. Here comes Liberty Bell Danielle. And her and AJ Lee definitely don't get along. Kick to the midsection from AJ Lee. They lock up. Whip to the corner. AJ misses with the kick. Danielle locks her up for a belly-to-belly suplex and a kick to the chest. Liberty Bell Danielle makes her way to the top turnbuckle. And here we go. Big time leg drop right across the throat of AJ Lee. Danielle nails her with a flip over neck whip. Follows it up with a stomp to the leg. Danielle decides to go for a pin here. One. But only just a one. I think that was personal between them. Danielle rounds up AJ Lee. AJ counters with elbows to the midsection of Danielle. They lock up again. Slam down. Face first into the canvas goes Danielle. AJ Lee follows it up with a knee to the head. Beats it out of town, and here comes Shotzi Blackheart on the tag. Danielle locks up with Shotzi. A knee to the head from Shotzi Blackheart. A stomp to the leg. Here comes Patty Powers on the hot tag. Powerhouse Patty catches the kick. Look at this, a little bit of double team, a little bit of collusion as both members of American Powers go off on Shotzi Blackheart. Patty Powers assumes control again. Oh man, gut wrench suplex from Patty. They lock up. Shotzi driven headfirst into the turnbuckle. A hard right from Patty. Patty's backing it up, warming up the arm. Here it comes, big time clothesline to Shotzi Blackheart, and down she goes like a chop down Sequoia. Patty rebounds off the ropes, big time crossbody splash from Powerhouse Patty Powers. Patty makes her way to the top turnbuckle again, and off she goes, elbow drop across the chest of Shotzi Blackheart. Patty covers, hooks the leg, 1, 2, about a 2.3. And it's getting closer. Another near fall. In this non-title tag team main event, Patty spins her around with a hard right, goes behind, tries for the full Nelson bomb, but winds up catching a reverse jawjacker from Shotzi Blackheart. Shotzi locks up Patty. Side suplex from Shotzi Blackheart, who takes herself out of the equation, and here comes AJ Lee on the tag. Patty Powers right back up on her feet. And here we go. Hard right spins Patty around. AJ Lee goes behind, rakes the back of Patty Powers with the nails. Patty locks her up. Has her up in the front cradle, delivers a couple of more rib breakers, and tosses her towards the American Powers corner. MJ Ferrantino definitely approving of what he sees here. What an acquisition for the Ferrantino stable, huh? Patty drives a knee into the back of AJ Lee, decides to start stretching the vertebrae. It misses CM Punk. Huh, there's a stomp right to the back, keeping her pinned. Patty Powers doing a little bit of showing off. There's a stomp to the back. Patty gathers up AJ Lee. AJ Lee counters with a kick to the midsection, locks up Patty Powers, a gouge to the eyes. A hard right takes Patty Powers down. AJ Lee decides she's going to get out of here and turn it over to Shotzi. Patty Powers still laid out as Shotzi moves in. Shotzi with a stomp to the arm of Patty Powers. Liked it so much he's going to do it again. And for a third time of asking, Patty Powers' arm starting to take a serious beating here at the hands of Shotzi Blackheart. A drop kick to the back of the head from Shotzi. Patty Powers catching a couple of wrist clutch kicks from Shotzi Blackheart. Quickly making her way to the top turnbuckle here. And here we go, big time double knees into the midsection of Shotzi Blackheart. She did not see that one coming. Patty with a right and a left and a hard left to the midsection that takes Shotzi Blackheart down, followed up with a stomp to the arm in retaliation. A little bit of payback. Here's your receipt, honey. Patty Powers escorts Shotzi to the corner, head first into the turnbuckle, a hard right. Turns her around in the corner. Powerhouse Patty rounds her up, drops her head first into the turnbuckle, takes herself out, and here comes Liberty Bell Danielle with Shotzi Blackheart laid out center ring. A stomp to the leg. They turn it over. And now into a leg lock on Shotzi Blackheart. AJ Lee coming to the rescue here and saving the match for her team. Out she goes. Over the top rope goes AJ Lee as Shotzi Blackheart sets up a pendulum DDT on Danielle. Follows it up with a stomp to the arm. Shotzi Blackheart making her way to the top turnbuckle here as Patty Powers deals with AJ Lee on the outside. Now that one's gotten crazy. Look at this. Powerhouse Patty's got her all the way up. AJ Lee about to get dropped. Shotzi going for a cover on Danielle. 1, 2. Well, not. Well, Danielle's not going to give up that easy. A stomp to the midsection from Shotzi Blackheart. An elbow to the midsection from Danielle. And again off camera, Patty Powers and AJ Lee mixing it up. But in the ring, it's Danielle at the moment. Gets a hold of Shotzi Blackheart. Grabs the leg, tries for the suplex, but winds up in a roll-up pin. Only one. AJ Lee back at her corner. MJ Ferrantino is starting to look a little bit concerned here as Shotzi takes herself off the second rope. A Hurricane Rana to Danielle. Danielle Heathcote rounded up by Shotzi Blackheart. Shotzi escorts her to the corner, heads first into the turnbuckle, tags in AJ Lee. Here comes a double team. Danielle whipped to the ropes, double shoulder tackle as AJ Lee takes over for her team. AJ Lee with a kick. And a running kick to the head of Danielle takes her face down to the canvas center ring. AJ Lee quickly going for a cover. 1, 2. Patty Powers right there to save the day. AJ Lee whips Patty out onto the floor, returns her attention back to Liberty Bell Danielle. AJ Lee may be smelling blood in the water here, but Danielle counters with a jaw jacker, locks her up, goes behind. German release suplex on AJ Lee. Danielle Heathcote winds up the arm on Shotzi Blackheart. AJ Lee snaps the arm. Oh, man. Danielle setting up a very painful stretch, but takes the whole back and just stretches it. Danielle winds up the arm, snaps it on AJ Lee. Turns AJ Lee over. And once again, another leg lock as referee Tom Kanamura monitors AJ Lee to see if she's going to tap out. Patty Powers steps in for a moment, thinking she might have to interfere, but no. Hard right to the back of the head of AJ Lee. Quickly taken down by Danielle. Classic wrestling takedown. A knee to the head from Liberty Bell Danielle. Danielle rounds her up again, locks her up. Nice suplex from Danielle. She steps out. Here comes Patty Powers again. MJ Ferrantino watching the whole thing carefully. His first match as their manager. He's definitely watching this one. Hard shots from Patty Powers. A hard shot to the midsection takes AJ Lee down, followed up with a stomp. AJ Lee puts on the brakes, turns it into a dragon screw on Patty. Patty Powers rounded up again. Patty counters AJ Lee. AJ Lee counters Patty. Patty with a slap to the face. AJ Lee counters with a kick. Shoves Patty down to the canvas and decides to beat it out of town. And here comes Shotzi Blackheart again on the tag. This one's been fast and furious, no kidding. Shotzi Blackheart again going to work on the arms of Patty Powers. Turns her over, delivers a kick to the lower back. Shotzi relentlessly working on the arms and back of Patty Powers. Shotzi Blackheart makes her way to the far corner as Patty gets back up on her feet. Top turnbuckle. Well, that did not work out. High risk maneuver backfired. Shotzi Blackheart being escorted to the American Powers corner. Head first into the turnbuckle. She goes hard right from Patty. Patty backing it up again, warming up the arm for the clothesline. Boom! Right across the throat of Shotzi Blackheart. Followed up with a big Tom Flash from Patty. Patty Powers says, you're going to try to take my arms away. I'm going to try to take yours away too. Shotzi Blackheart once again escorted to the AP corner. Here comes Liberty Bell Danielle on the tag. Here comes a double team from AP as Shotzi Blackheart is catapulted over into a back body drop. Stomp to the face from Danielle Heathcote. Shotzi stuck center ring and into the crossface. This could be it right here. Nope. AJ Lee right there to spoil the party as Patty watches as Danielle goes for a pin, but it's no good. She's going to go for it a second time. 1, 2. Oh, man. Another near fall. Shotzi Blackheart powering out of the pin. Flip over neck whip from Danielle. Danielle Heathcote takes herself up to the middle rope. Misses with the driving knee. Shotzi back up on her feet. Tags Danielle with a right. Whips her to her team's corner. Danielle counters. Finds her way out of the corner. Spinning punch. Discus punch takes down Shotzi Blackheart. Patty Powers comes in on the tag. And here comes AJ Lee. Fresh partners all the way around here. Patty charges, misses with the clothesline. AJ Lee with a kick to the midsection and a couple of chops across the chest as well. A slap across the face, a hard right, a hard left, a hard right that spins Patty around. She goes behind, takes down Patty Powers with a helicopter spin. Well, to their credit, Shotzi and AJ Lee have not done too badly for themselves so far. A stomp to the arm of Patty Powers. Again, both teams working very efficiently. And AJ Lee picking up where Shotzi left off, working on the arms of Patty Powers. Look at this. A foot on the throat of Powerhouse Patty. A little bit of arrogance there from AJ Lee. AJ Lee makes her way to the middle rope. Cross body splash on Patty. Patty Powers rounded up again. AJ Lee has her up over the shoulders, but no. Chop block to the back of the knee of AJ Lee. As Patty Powers tags in Liberty Bell Danielle. And man, this match has been nuts. They lock up. Danielle escorted to the ropes by AJ Lee. AJ using the top rope to choke Danielle. Oh man, this one's crazy. Danielle draped on the middle rope as AJ Lee drives all of her weight into Danielle's back. AJ Lee rounds up Danielle. Has her up, and here it is, the Black Widow, that modified octopus stretch. Patty Powers shows up. Tom Kennemore checking things out. Patty watching carefully. Danielle finds her way out, slams her down with a sidewalk slam. Patty decides to beat it out of town. Danielle rounds up AJ Lee, a couple of chops. AJ Lee against the ropes, counters with an elbow, a slap across the face, a kick to the side. And another running kick that takes Danielle down to the canvas. AJ Lee again going for the pin. 1, 2. Oh, only 2. AJ Lee starting to get a little bit frustrated here. And why not? This match has gone on for quite some time already. Still no sign of a win, no sign of a pin, and no sign of a submission. Danielle with a double shot drives AJ Lee into the corner. Drives her head into the turnbuckle. Danielle takes herself up to the middle rope. Choking AJ Lee with a reverse dragon sleeper on the middle rope. Just drops her like a bad habit. Comes on down herself quickly, going for the cover. 1, 2. Another near fall as AJ Lee kicks out at 2. Here comes Shotzi Blackheart. Danielle locks up with Shotzi. Hey, counters the side suplex just by shifting her weight. Danielle Heathcote steps out. Here comes Patty Powers. Shotzi back up on her feet. Patty locks her up, delivers a knee to the midsection. Sets up Shotzi. Drives a knee right into the head. Patty once again going for the cover here. 1, 2. Oh, another 2 count with Shotzi finding her way out of danger. Here comes Liberty Bell Danielle again. Shotzi Blackheart laid out face down. Danielle rounds her up. Locks her up. Escorts her to the corner. Head first into the turnbuckle. Goes Shotzi. And again, Danielle takes herself up to the middle rope. Another reverse dragon sleeper. Trying to deprive Shotzi Blackheart of air. Danielle comes on down. And well, look at this. Gonna try for something new too. All the way up on the top turnbuckle yet again. And boom, misses with the leg drop. Oh man, Shotzi Blackheart. And to capitalize on that mistake, delivers a kick to the leg of Danielle. Takes herself down into a heel hook stretch on Liberty Bell Danielle. And Danielle's definitely not having a good time right there. Shotzi Blackheart shoved away by Liberty Bell Danielle, quickly back up on her feet. And she is dragging Shotzi Blackheart toward center. A stomp to the leg. Danielle Heathcote gets a hold of Shotzi Blackheart, gets a hold of the leg, and whoa! Little small package suplex right there. Shotzi Blackheart again being dragged towards center by Liberty Bell Danielle, who goes for the cover and hooks the leg one. But only a one. A little too close to the corner of the opposing team. Patty Powers whipped to the outside by AJ Lee. Shotzi Blackheart catches a kick to the back of the head. Danielle. Oh, look at this. AJ Lee on the outside with Patty Powers. Slams her down to the floor. Shotzi nails Danielle with a suplex. Shotzi with an arm snap on Danielle, turns it into an arm bar. And meanwhile, again, AJ Lee and Patty Powers mixing it up on the outside of our camera range. Shotzi Blackheart takes herself to the top turnbuckle in her corner. A senton right across the midsection of Danielle. Shotzi covers. 1, 2. But again, only a 2. AJ Lee finally decides to take herself back to her corner. Shotzi Blackheart rounds up Danielle. Danielle counters the discus punch. Shotzi Blackheart gets a hold of Danielle, slams her head into the turnbuckle in her team's corner. Shotzi. What's she gonna do here? Look at this Dudley dog. We haven't seen that in a long time. Danielle rounded up by Shotzi again. Locks her up. And she's calling for it. There's a DDT. Right out of the Jake the Snake Roberts playbook right there. Shotzi Blackheart rounds up Danielle. 1.5 minutes left to go. We might see a time limit draw here. Shotzi yanking the arm of Danielle against the ropes. A spinning discus punch that doesn't quite find the mark. A jawjacker that sends Danielle down to the canvas. Shotzi rounds her up again. Another hard whip to the far corner. Danielle counters and escapes the corner. Shotzi counters with a kick. Locks up Danielle. Sets her up, and there's that pendulum DDT again. As Shotzi tags out, and here comes AJ Lee. Liberty Bell Danielle in some trouble here as AJ Lee starts smelling blood in the water. And here we go again, the Black Widow, the modified octopus stretch. Here comes Patty. Whoa! Oh, man, wait a second now. The bell's been rung. What the hell? Oh, man, something well. Shotzi and AJ Lee have won this match.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Tom Kanemura has disqualified American Powers. Your winners by disqualification, AJ Lee and Shotzi Blackheart.
Wow, what a hot mess of an ending. Technically, AJ Lee had Danielle in a spot, and that should have ended the thing. But Patty Powers clearly, by mistake, gave referee Tom Kanemura an accidental poke in the chops. And I guess the official had just had enough participation in this match, calling for a DQ, awarding the match to AJ Lee and Shotzi. American Powers, caught in a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation here, and this match finish is certain to just exacerbate the tensions between the two teams. What an inauspicious beginning for MJ Ferrantino as American Powers manager. Oh, believe you me, this is definitely not over.
Oh, yeah, I would definitely say this is definitely far from over, guys.
And what a messed up place to have to leave things this week, but we're all out of time. Fans, as always, we thank all of you for watching and supporting our WL Wrestling, and we love you for it. Okay, next our WL Wrestling card will be Monday night, July 21st, when our WL Rage will return with Don Hickson, Christy Ogilvie, and Myron Schimmelman. For Tex, Johnny, and yours truly, this is Wally Cardinal saying thanks, good night, and be safe.